What's up YouTube, it's RJ. Welcome back to another video. And obviously we're back on the couch, back in my living room. I was not super stoked on how the last video turned out. Sound was a little rough. And I just feel like this area is an easier place to break down a shoe for you guys and just all of that. So anyway, getting right to it. Today we're gonna break out the Adidas Nicekicks Woodstock Ultraboost collaboration that actually took place a few months back and released on Nicekicks website, but has since had its global release. And I was lucky enough to secure these via the Hanon raffle online. Hanon obviously being out of the UK, but nonetheless, shout out to them. We're not talking a whole lot about them today, but I was stoked to secure the shoes through them. So I had to mention them before we went any further. And I'm actually going to bust out a knife and actually unbox these for the first time. I know we call a lot of my videos unboxings, but the majority of the time I've actually taken a look at the shoes beforehand so I can get an idea of what I'm talking about, but I feel like this gives for a more exciting review and all of that. So might see how this plays out, see how you guys like it, and potentially continue to do things like this moving forward. So it's kind of like your first time taking a look at them, my first time, and we can get a solid reaction out of them. I'm not gonna lie, that was a pain in the ass to get out of that box. And because the box was so snug, it did get kind of beat up on the corners, and that sucks because this is a consortium box, is a little different than most Ultraboost boxes. And for whatever reason, whenever I get consortium boxes, they're always kind of beat up. So that kind of bums me out, but not gonna let that bring me down too much. I guess we will take a look at the box before we go any further. It is completely white. You do have the consortium handshake right there. Adidas performance logo right there. And the size tag on the box with the Ultraboost NK, obviously standing for Nicekicks. For those of you that don't know Nicekicks is a sneaker boutique. They have stores in San Francisco, in Austin, Texas, in Los Angeles, I believe. And I think one other area, I'm not exactly sure. Probably should have done a little background on them, but they've been around for quite a while. Obviously the consortium boxes slide open right there. The cool thing about these is right here, I've talked about this before, it does say the respect is mutual with the consortium handshake right there on the box. I love little details like that, man. That's the stuff that gets me excited. And there is one of these shoes right there. And there you have them in all their glory, fresh out of the box, laces, tags, everything still on them. The Adidas Nicekicks Woodstock Ultraboost. A lot of people are hating on them, but I think they're fire. I think it's a must-have for those of us who still collect Ultraboost. And obviously those of you who know me and have watched my videos know that I'm a big Ultraboost guy, and the majority of my collection is still to this day Ultraboost, just because I love this silhouette. But let's go ahead and break these down. I'll pop all these tags off and everything, and then we'll discuss the shoe a little more in depth. So I don't know why I typically focus on the left shoe, but today I just chose to pick up the right shoe. It really doesn't matter. There are subtle differences on each of these, being as it's a collab, and I will specify what those are going forward. The breakdown is as follows. The entire upper is comprised of a tie-dyed prime knit. Those of you who don't know Adidas, prime knit is their knit, much like fly knit is Nike's knit. Just what they call their knit construction, and that just is what it is. Not a whole lot more in depth on that. As you can see right there on the toe box, hopefully the camera picks that up, you do have a clear mud guard. Always a great addition to an Ultraboost, just in case you kick something, or if you actually do get some mud or some hits of dirt right there on the toe, that is where it's going to happen. And this will go ahead and alleviate any headaches when it comes to cleaning the shoes. If you take care of your shoes, you don't usually have much to worry about up top, but the toe is an area that tends to get really dirty very easily. So having that toe guard right there, that mud guard, is a cool addition to the shoe. Nicekicks, good looking out, guys. Now moving up, the main laces are white. Alternate laces are going to be red, and I probably will throw these in when I do the on feet later on in the video. Obviously you can see the aglets right there. Lace tips are in fact red, much like the alternate laces. And then right beneath the laces is the Ultraboost cage. Obviously that's on 95% of the Ultraboost that we've seen since 2015, and it is kind of clear, a little more of a frosty look to it. I wouldn't say it's completely clear. It does have a frost-like hit to it. You can definitely see through it, but it's not completely clear. And then heading back to the back portion of the shoe, you do have the Ultraboost heel cup. It does have the Ultraboost branding and logo right there, and it is the same frost clear as the entire cage is. And then obviously running back to the back panel, you have that tie-dyed prime knit continued all the way throughout the shoe. On the right shoe, on the tongue tag, you are going to have the Nicekicks logo. They recently changed that logo, like within the last week, so it is gonna look a little different. Nowadays, I prefer the classic logo, guys. If anybody from Nicekicks see this, revert back to that logo. That logo right there is synonymous with your guys' brand, and I think you should keep it. I know it's all about innovating and whatnot, but you know, updating your site is one thing. Getting rid of that iconic logo that you guys created way back when is a fail. If you ask me, I still love you guys, but go back to that. Reverse tongue tag does have the Adidas Performance logo right there, and you do have a little consortium button right there on the right below the tongue tag. Now heading over to the left shoe, just because it does have a few differences. Right there on the tongue tag, you are gonna have the Woodstock logo, being as this is the Woodstock Ultraboost. Now I believe this was supposed to be a drop for Woodstock, but Woodstock was actually canceled for an array of reasons that I won't get into because I'm not heavy into Woodstock, but nonetheless, just letting you guys know what's going on. Now, I had to pull out both insoles because they do differ. The one side is going to have the Nicekicks branding, as you can see right there, with a hand grasping a guitar up the center, and then a little bit of that Woodstock logo on the top. And the alternate is going to have a guitar as well, green and blue hits, finishing of the Woodstock logo up top, just a little bit of it, with the consortium handshake logo right there below the heel. Heading down from the top of the shoe to the midsole, you've got a ton of boost technology, as you do on every Ultraboost. I don't really have to go in depth with you guys on that one. Just know that these shoes are extremely comfortable. If you've never owned a pair, go buy yourself a pair of general releases if you can't get a hold of these, if you don't want to pay resale for them, or you don't like the colorway, but you're still interested in Ultraboost, go buy a pair. It's a must. It's just a great all-around shoe. Casually, in the gym, light runs, short runs, it's a good shoe, man. So we've talked about that to the end of the earth and back, so I won't go too more in depth on it, but it is an Ultraboost, a ton of boost technology. Not a whole lot more to say outside of that. Heading to the outsole, my absolute favorite part of this shoe is the fact that they gave us a gum outsole. This is one of the few Ultraboosts out there to ever feature a gum sole, and I like gum on any colorway. We've discussed this pretty recently with another pair of shoes. Just gum on any shoe just sets it off, and I don't know what it is. Might just be my preference. I think a lot of people like it though. And then up top, you can see the Continental branding. Adidas does partner with Continental rubber, and they do throw Continental outsoles on a lot of their silhouettes these days. I think the Ultraboost may have been the first one to feature though. Don't quote me on that because that could be wrong. And outside of that, you obviously do have the torsion system that we see on every Ultraboost. It is lined in red with a black cap. Heading back to the counter right below your heel, that piece is going to be red. I know some people care about those hits, so I do include them in all the videos that I do of this particular silhouette. And the last thing that I forgot to mention was the inner liner of this shoe, which is white. And that's kind of a bummer because it is going to get dirty, but if they would have made it black or anything else, it would have taken away from the overall aesthetic of the shoe. So I think top to bottom, the shoe was done very well in my opinion. I love it. I'm excited. This pair is definitely going to stay in my collection, and I will throw them on feet here in just a second. But before I throw my feet in them, there are a few other things I like to touch on in all my videos. The first one is price. These were $180, which is kind of cool because a lot of collaborations are more expensive than that. So for whatever reason, they stuck to $180. It's nice to see that $180 is your general price. $180 is the general price point for most Ultraboosts. So it was cool to see a collaboration come in at that. Mine was probably a few more bucks just because I got them overseas and it was part of a raffle. you can still get these pretty damn close to retail. So if you want them, check out Goat. That's where I go to get my shoes if I wanna pay resale, or if I just didn't manage to get them. They are still very close to retail. So hit up goat.com. Shout out to them for everything that they do. Up to this point, very trustworthy, never done me wrong, great customer service, and I have not one bad thing to say about Goat. So shout out to them. Again, 180 USD. Outside of that would be comfort. I touched on that a little earlier in the video. I love the Ultraboost. I think it's one of the most comfortable shoes ever made. I think the technology top to bottom is great. Prime knit is super comfortable. Boost midsole, amazing. Continental rubber, good traction, great shoe to walk all day in. You know, your feet will get tired at some point, but what shoes don't they get tired in, you know what I mean? So I'm a big Disneyland guy. Me and my family tend to go to Disney a lot, and I wear Ultraboost probably 7 out of 10 times that we're at Disneyland. So I will have these on next time I go. You better bet your butt. Anyways, last thing I touch on is sizing. I did get these true to size just because I had no chance to try them on, and I hadn't really tapped anybody else for sizing information. Just slipping them on, there is a bit of room in them. I like my shoes a little more snug, but with these, I will just keep the insoles in. Sometimes I pull the insoles out if they're a little too snug. With these, I'll leave the insoles in and they should fit pretty perfect. So for those of you with a little wider foot or a little thicker foot, I've got pretty skinny feet, but I would go true to size. If you want something ridiculously snug, go a half size down. But for the majority of you, 95% of you guys, go true to size and just leave it at that. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding this silhouette or anything else that you want to talk about, leave a comment down below. I do check all of the comments. I do respond to 99.9% of them, and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. And guys, that is going to do it for me today. Like I said, I will throw these on feet, give you guys a better look at them, what they look like aesthetically walking around, side profiles and all of that good stuff. So I appreciate every one of you for watching this. If you haven't already, like, subscribe. It helps this video, it helps the channel grow, and that's what we're trying to do. So I appreciate you guys one more time. Again, I am RJ. This is the Adidas Nicekicks Woodstock Ultra Boost. And until next time, guys, peace out.